Okay, something a wee bit different for this video. I've not given the Great Western any loving for a long time, and they've made quite a few changes to it. So, thought we'll go back and have a wee look at that. So we'll be doing a service with an HST running from Reading to London. Stops once at Slough along the way, and there's a fair bit going on with signals and things like that again, as always. So okay, so very quickly we've got a green signal to go. Do a very quick setup here. Okay. Great thing about this particular train, it's so quick and easy to get it set up. Alright, let's get going. So that train there is having to wait for us to go. You can actually drive that one as a service as well. It's kind of cool because you've got all the yellow signals and things to deal with because you're behind this one which stops. Oh, that was not right. I've got the lights set up wrong. That didn't look right. Huh. Oh, there we go. Never seen that happen before. Okay. So, I'm now on the 60-mile-an-hour stretch of line, and I'm not expecting to go over any points. So, we're now on the 125 stretch of line. Dead easy line to drive this. It's quite relaxing, but you don't have to do very much a lot of the time. So these services that stop halfway along, these are quite good. These break it up a little bit. I do really enjoy driving the 125. It's fair to say though that they're just it's the nature of the way that we built the railways in this country, but they're flat and they don't go up or down very much, especially not these main lines around London. So there really is a degree of just, you know, open up the throttle, wait for the station, slow down. It's not to say it's not fun though. I mean, it's a 125-mile-an-hour diesel electric train. It's big, it's loud, it's noisy, it's dirty, it's fun. It would be nice to maybe get some of the more northern parts of something like the East Coast Main Line where you've got trains like this, but the railway actually requires the driver to drive the train rather than just keep an eye on it. So we will eat up the distance pretty quickly. It's the building sites from the electrification of the line that was going on at the time this was made. Station coming up, but we're just going to be blasting straight on through. Haplo, I think. Can't remember. Not a lot to see out here, unfortunately. Problem is when we built a lot of these railways, we just cut them straight through the ground and piled it all up at either side. So where they did that, there's bugger all to see. And that accounts for quite a fair chunk of our railway network, unfortunately. Oh, there we go, we're out now into what would be the green and pleasant lands if it wasn't for the rain clouds and crap. So we'll just we'll get out of the power just now a little bit because we're creeping up towards 125, and I don't want to I don't want or need to go any faster than that. You tend not to find much in the way of steep gradients on our main lines either. AWS just checking I'm still alive. So, I mean, you don't have to do the bang on 125 miles an hour with this. You keep it above 118, 119, 120, and you should always make good time. Quite quick routes these though, the HST ones, they're only about 20-25 minutes long. Train on the other platform. There certainly seems to be more traffic about since the autumn patch or the winter patch, whichever one it was that addressed GWE. think that's Maidenhead maybe that we've just gone through. They've definitely improved the power delivery on this thing. It doesn't automatically go way up to the top end of the ammeter either when you apply the throttle. It's much better. So 3 miles to the first stop. We just need to be aware of signals and things. I don't think we're going to get any on the way in though. So 2.5 miles, come off the throttle now. So we just, you don't need to be too aggressive with the brakes. It feels like it's taking forever to slow down, but so just nice and easy on the brakes. You want to be aiming for about 25-30 miles an hour as you enter the station, and that'll give you bags of room to stop. Brakes are definitely a lot better than they were pre-patch as well, that's for sure. So let's see what the time was. We're a good couple of minutes early. You've always got tons of time in the express services. I don't know how accurate a representation of Slough that is. I've never been there. So I think we'll have a couple of minutes in hand. We've got a couple of minutes to go yet. So what we'll do, we'll have a quick look in the train. Ooh, those look comfy. Why can I not sit in them? Huh. Ooh. Yeah, you kind of get into the loot. If your car's closed, just like being back in the British Rail days. And then the commoner seats. Oh, you do get plugs and stuff though. It's certainly in a lot better shape than any 125 I've ever bloody well been on, that's for sure. Right. Huh. Not going to wander too far away because we're just about due to move again. Okay. Excuse me. All right, London, here we come. Oh, a bit early for that. Oh, let's see. The DSD kicking in. Right, we can give it full beans now. Once you're up to about 60, 70, you can give it full beans. Basically, you don't want the amp counter to go above 1.5 or 15 there, because that's bad. I think anything actually happens within the game, but oh, so yeah, definitely more AI traffic kicking about post-update, that's for sure. Another one. Good grief, there's loads of them. Excellent. You definitely notice the cab sway and the cab shake a bit more as well. I don't know how well that'll show up on the... God, so many trains. I don't know how well that'll show up on the stream, because I notice when I watch these back, the 760p or whatever it is limit that the PlayStation puts on them, I don't always see some of the detail that I maybe noticed when I was playing it, which is a shame, but not much I can do about that. Well, there probably is, I just don't know how to. So again, not a huge amount to do at the moment, other than just monitor the speed and get ready to back the power out. It's still at max. So creeping up to 120 now, so I'm going to be ready to start easing off on the power slightly. Okay, and it's when you're cruising along like this, you notice a lot of the incidental effects. I don't know how well they come up on the video. I have the sound settings lowered on this account so that the train's not drowning me out. Although the train is arguably much more enjoyable to listen to, because some of the sound effects and things are awesome. You can hear all the clacks and the bangs as you go over the joins in the track and the points, and you can hear things rattling around inside the machine, and you can hear the loose panels, metal panels shaking as you go over the bumps. It's quite incredible attention to detail in so many ways. That's West Ealing maybe that we just went through. Terrible at remembering the names of the stations. Okay, and there's a 100-mile-an-hour speed limit coming up, about a mile beyond Ealing Broadway here. I remember Ealing Broadway because of that sort of tunnel thing at the end of it. We'll just start the initial braking now, and we might have to just squeeze a little bit more on. There we go. And bang on as we pass the sign. Another reduction to 50 coming up as we get close to Paddington. And this speed limit actually has an AWS guard in it, just to make sure you're paying attention. There we go, that's to make sure you're aware of the change coming up. Now, the last time I did this on my other account, I actually got yellow signals on the way in. I had to stop briefly. I kept about the same time as I have today. Must be your dynamic services in action there. That's kind of cool though, you can do the same service more than once and it plays out a bit differently. Okay, there's a further reduction to 40 coming up because we just passed the signs. But even if you don't spot them or you don't know what to look for, it doesn't really matter because you've got enough time to slow down when this thing pops up. Yeah. And then we basically coast the last wee bit. There's one more speed reduction. And AWS just making sure I've noticed the yellow signal coming up, which we have. Okay, got bags of room to stop here. Okay, so that was Reading to London. The yeah, train definitely drives a bit nicer now since the update. There's definitely tons more AI around, so there's a lot more going on the line. I'm going to have to go and replay a lot of the scheduled services, I think, to see what rush hour and what have you's like now. Aye, it's definitely better. That's for sure. And this thing just handles... The difference is subtle, but good. So, that's probably about... I'll just let this run to the doors close. And then that's probably a good place to call time on this. There we go. I didn't even think to check my arrival time. Yeah, always got tons and tons of time in your pocket on that, on the HST services. So yeah, that's a good place to leave that there. And I plan to be back very soon with some more Rursig content. Cheers for now.